Right, hi everyone. Thanks for coming. I'm Katie Keith, CEO and founder at Barn2 Plugins. So I'm here to share my journey of pivoting a WordPress agency into a successful plugin company selling $1.7 million a year of WordPress and WooCommerce plugins. So, Barn2 started life in 2010 as a small web design shop. So my husband Andy and myself, back then we lived in a converted barn in England called Barn Number 2, of course. And we talked for all of our 20s about wanting to start a business together, but we didn't have the right idea. We didn't know what to start as a business. So we ended up starting a web design shop because it had low startup costs and it combined Andy's skills as a web and software developer with my skills as a marketer and project manager. So we started off with doing small websites for local businesses like plumbers, washing machine repair shops, that kind of level of websites. And then after a few months, we found success by presenting ourselves as WordPress specialists, and things grew from there. After a few years, we had decent revenue that had replaced our previous jobs' incomes, and things were going pretty well, but it wasn't perfect. And the main problem was that we were always on call for our clients. So even though we could now work from home, and that was amazing, we couldn't really take time off properly because there could always be a problem with a client's website. And we could have fixed that by building a team and growing in that way so that we had help. But at that time, we wanted to stay small, and that wasn't really our vision. So we started thinking, maybe selling WordPress products would be more flexible lifestyle-wise and also be able to scale more effectively. So we started off by thinking, well, what sort of WordPress products shall we sell? Well, themes seemed like a fantastic idea. So it was 2013, and Theme Forest was huge. That was a big time of growth for Theme Forest, and they published the install numbers so we could see how much some of these themes were making, and we wanted to be a part of it. So we spent all of 2013, as well as doing the client work, building a WordPress theme called Ratio. But sadly, it was never launched. And that was because we specifically wanted to sell it on Theme Forest, because we didn't have the confidence to market a theme independently, and we just wanted to use the marketplace, and they said no. And with hindsight, we were going in a very different direction to Theme Forest because our theme was intentionally lightweight and simple, and Theme Forest themes, as you probably know, were much, much more than that, and very big and complex, which we didn't really want to do and we didn't feel we had the capacity to do. So we gave up on that idea and went back to the client business for a few years. But the idea of products didn't go away. And in 2016, we started thinking, well, maybe plugins are a better route than themes, because themes kind of take over a whole website because they are the whole design and often features too. But plugins can be really simple or really complex. So we could choose a plugin idea that fit with our capacity. Because we were working with lots of clients, we had insights into gaps in the market that could lead to products that we would know would have some demand. So we got to work. Well, specifically, I carried on managing the client business while Andy stopped doing client work for a few months and built our first plugin, which was called WooCommerce Password Protected Categories, which I accept isn't the snappiest name, but it does exactly what it says. And we didn't get this idea from our clients. We actually got it from the WooCommerce Ideas Forum, which was a website that used to exist. And we went through all the ideas of things people wanted for WooCommerce, and we chose the one which had the most number of votes, but it was the easiest to develop. thought we'd give it a go. And because I was a marketer, I started blogging about it. Back then, there was no other way to password protect categories in WooCommerce. And so my blog post went straight to the top of Google. I know how hard that is now. And we were really amazed that we started getting sales within a few days. Our second plugin was called Post Table with Search and Sort, another snappy name. And this one did come from a client project. So this client hired us to build a custom plugin, which was a table of blog posts for his very large blog. And he gave us permission to continue developing it and to release it as a free plugin on WordPress.org, which we did. And that was really interesting because while that plugin was free, when people started using it, they started sending us feature requests. And those feature requests had some really good ideas, which we rolled into a premium version called Post Table Pro. So we kept going, and within 6 months, we were earning enough from the plugin sales to stop taking on new client projects. And we kept our existing clients, like hosting and maintenance and so on, basically as a safety net, and because we didn't want to let them down. So we still had some client income, but we didn't take new projects. And we focused all our energies into building the product business. And I'm a big believer that if you just do something, get something out into the world, then opportunities can start happening. Whereas if you just talk about it and don't do anything, then it's literally impossible for anything to come your way. And we had this a lot with our early plugins. So when we released WooCommerce Protected Categories, we got lots of feature requests, which we built into 2 different successful plugins. So we did WooCommerce Private Store and WooCommerce Wholesale Pro. And similarly, with our Post Table Pro plugin, we got lots of more feature requests for specific use cases for tables, and we built Document Library Pro and WooCommerce Product Table, which are both tables, but they're built for different use cases. And these have been our 2 biggest selling plugins of all time. So, how can you do the same? Since then, we've built Barn2 into a company of 17 people based all over the world. We've got 19 plugins and over 90,000 people using our plugins. So I'm going to share what's worked for us at Barn2 to hopefully help to inspire you and give you some advice on what you could do. My first piece of advice is that you have to dedicate time to your products. Because I know a lot of WordPress freelancers or agencies have products as a sideline, but you need to dedicate some proper time in order to help them grow and be successful. And that may well mean reducing your income from client work in the short term, and that's what you need to do. Marketing is important. I know you may not want to hear that because a lot of developers are not marketers. But if you're not a marketer, then either hire someone or partner with somebody who is. With marketing, try different things, analyze the results, and do more of what works for you. And at Barn2, that's always been Google Organic, followed by YouTube. Choose your plugin ideas carefully. And I've been talking to a lot of people at this WordCamp, actually, who have chosen plugins that are really hard to grow. And so I would say start with niche, low competition ideas. And it may feel the market's oversaturated, but actually, if you're doing client work and you look closely enough, there are plenty of gaps still. It's really important to choose products that people are actively searching for. You don't want to have to, unless you've got a massive budget, educate them about the need for your product. You want something that they are looking for, and ideally something that makes them money too, which is why most of our Barn2 plugins are built for WooCommerce. You also need to get support right, because that builds your reputation, it gets you positive reviews, and also it helps to reduce your refunds. Business model is super important. At Barn 2, we've had annual subscriptions from quite early on, and right now more than half of our revenue is from annual renewals, which helps to make us a lot more financially stable. And if you had something like a SaaS model, then that could be even better. As you grow, and maybe even initially, you need to learn how to delegate. And it took me a long time to learn how to trust people to do as good a job as me, and I'm still learning this, but you do need to do it. You don't have to commit lots of money to building a big team straight away. You can hire freelancers and agencies for particular tasks as needed. So to get help, the thing I recommend first is support, because that really eats up your time, and Level Up are the easiest way to find good support engineers. They're based here in the Philippines, pointing at the CEO, and we've been using them since 2019. 6 of our 8 support team members are Level Up, and they are just for WordPress products, so they're really trained in WordPress and know what they're doing. For marketing, I recommend Ellipsis, who specialize in marketing WordPress products, and I've been working with them since 2017. And for development, if you're not ready to hire a full-time developer, then Codable is an excellent place to start and have really good people. So, if you're thinking of moving from agency work to products, then my advice is to stop thinking about it and just do it. And the rewards are worth it. For more in-depth discussions on all the things I've talked about, then I'd recommend you check out the WP Product Talk podcast, which I'm a co-host of, and we go into all of these topics and more to help you grow your business. Thank you so much for watching.